Bullshit.
We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Somebody just walked over your grave.
Oh, you gotta give him that.
He stays in my.
Oh, you gotta give him that.
He stays in my.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell? I'm your huckleberry.
You just keep sliding that on in, don't you?
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
And I got to give it to you a little bit more.
What's wrong with you?
What?
Tonight.
What?
Calm the fuck down.
If I can get a quickie in.
I'm your huckleberry.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother. You better go somewhere and beat your meat.
Bullshit.
I played with it earlier this week when I was giving out the love messages.
Disgusting behavior. It is a sickness.
Back is good. Ass is good. All good.
I think I'm gonna bend you over my knee and turn that fat ass red now.
You know what they say? See a broad to get that booty yak 'em. Leg her down or smack 'em.
What's wrong with y'all?
Peace, power, prosperity. You already know what time it is when we step into the town square. Well, it's clean and all is fair. Ladies, kick up your feet and relax your hair. We are back at it again. Part 2 of the Dee Dee lineup. Our very first female panel. We did part 1 the other day, but it knocked out part 2 right now. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's enjoying their beautiful day. Hope they're being productive Y'all already know how we get down over here in the town square village gang. Y'all know it's a love thing. He and I is him. Slim Trim and I'm built to win. I am Granny's baby. I am numero uno flaco fuerte. Your humble host that will never do the least, but I will also never try to overdo it and do the most. Y'all know it's gang shit. See that the usual suspect stepping into town square right now. Yo. Without further ado, this is a busy day for me, but to jump right into it, shout out to Dee Dee, shout out to Rose, shout out to Real Talk Anna, shout out to Carmen JC, shout out to Sandra Faye, shout out to Queen Vibes. Who is responsible? Figure it out.
It's gonna be a cold winter. So I will say a lot of them don't even make enough money to be single. So I don't know why they fighting so hard to just be tore up. Like I ain't never seen somebody fighting so hard just to throw themselves in the garbage can. I mean, and then like, we just stand with the fence and all the alphabet community. Like we ran with that so tough. And as soon as they said their rights was violated, I thought there goes civil rights. There goes civil rights. Like y'all didn't fed that to them too. It's all right. It's all right.
And I think, I think the BBL culture plays a major role in this with when you see like the Sexy Red. Well, I know Sexy Red doesn't have BBL, but like when you see the Cardi B's and I don't know if Megan Thee Stallion, whatever. But when you think about the BBL culture, I think mixing that with social media, it made women think like it's almost like a lottery ticket. You know, like if I get my body done and I look like that.
I'm not trying to do this shit.
Maybe I can live that lifestyle too, or maybe I'm going to find a rich guy that likes how I look, and that'll be my way out. But they don't have, like, they think it's all about a look. Like their mind doesn't go past, okay, so what do I do when I have to talk to this guy and have to tell him my interest and have to, actually date this guy? They don't get to that moment of actually knowing how to carry themselves. So they think that their BBL is going to be like a meal ticket. That's what they think. And this is when I noticed it was a problem in Black culture, because all of them always say that they don't have money for anything, and then they all turned up with BBLs. They found the money. And I was like, oh, you guys, you found the money for that. So now you can't tell me that you can't buy something now. Now you can't tell me that you can't afford to get out of the neighborhood that you're in. I don't want to hear those excuses, because when it came to a BBL, when it came to getting veneers, you guys all figured it out. You all figured it out, even if you made a way to do it. And the Sexy Reds and the Cardi B's, they're like their role models, okay? They sing the lyrics that they feel like they can sing to the men or sing about the men, the prostitution music, which goes hand in hand with this BBL culture. And they think that their lives are going to change off of that. And not to mention, like, I don't know who said about the moms being like their friends. We don't have grandmas anymore. Like, we used to save the children with grandmas, but we simply don't have them. And if you look at, I don't know what happened in like today's time, but all of the people that are like 50, they look amazing. Okay, they look great. All of the stars that are like 50, look at like Gabrielle Union, Halle Berry, all of them, Jennifer Lopez, all of them stars that are in their 50s, they still look young. And they think that their lives are not over, that they don't have to be grandmas. They're not taking on the grandma role. And I think that is putting hurt on the community. Listening to the dysfunction, and like, I don't know if people know about music and vibrations and what that does to your body, but like it actually it makes you, like, I've listened to the music and it makes you feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say like a spirit that comes upon you, which I believe it is, like a spirit that comes upon you, and it just makes you like have this ego about yourself. And to me, the ego is the worst thing that you could be operating out of. And that is like I don't know, the ego is probably worse than money.
Yeah, for sure. So you see, it's what they're interested in, right? Imagine people had interest in the proper things, in the same way you were saying, Carmen, that they find money for fuckery, right? And all types of bullshit. They put the energy and their time and resources into fuckery. But imagine channeling that same energy into things that's positive, that actually get the community rolling. Well, if you say, well, fuck the community, that ain't my business. All right, cool. How about you invest in things that get your life together and your household in order, right? But it's because their interest is in fuckery. That's why they find the money. That's why they find the time. You dig it? And about that music and that energy thing and that spirit thing, I talked about that the other day. Remember, the body is majority water, and we know water is highly susceptible to things. So now the vibration coming from the music could affect water, and your body is 70+% water. And imagine what that's doing to your body on a liquid level. If your body is mostly liquid, then cells, blood, you feel me? Stomach acid, all that, brain fluid, all of that is affected. You dig it?
It's basically like the demonic spirit is basically entering into people through music. I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to be like into a lot of that stuff like years ago.
My friends, when I was younger, they used to turn on like 666 and like go and do bad things. But before they went in to do those bad things, they had to put on those records to gin themselves up to go and do it. So I totally believe that too, that it's like the music and it brings on that macho, ego, demonic spirit where you want to like puff up your chest. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, like it's basically like goes into that whole thing of like selling your soul into the devil, like the whole entertainment industry. Like it goes hand in hand. Like
Yeah,
when
and
they
it's
have these
just
celebrities selling their souls to like put out their certain music because they know it can influence people into making those decisions, like what we see now.
Like
and it's
Sexy
up
Red's
to
lip gloss.
the mind.
I'm sorry.
Right, the lip glosses are beyond disgusting.
I
Her lip
mean,
glosses. And the fact that no one even like made a big deal about that, they should have immediately counseled her when she dropped those lip
exactly.
glosses. And that's another reason I knew that the black women were done, because you guys are letting someone sell gonorrhea and booty hole brown lip glosses.
Right.
It's disgusting. And if you go look at the comments, they're like, I can't wait to buy mine. And this is just how dysfunctional they are, because they don't see a problem with it. They don't even realize how much they've been radicalized, and it just really, really far left. They are really far left, and it's no correcting them. I think that's the part that hurts them the most, the part where they don't listen and won't be corrected.
I mean, selling lip glosses that are STDs, you know what I mean? Like gonorrhea green or whatever. That is a public health nightmare. That is letting people think that promiscuity is okay and cool because it can be labeled onto a lip gloss or a blush. You know, like that is gross. So I was
See, my argument to this is strength in numbers, right? They figure if enough of them sanction it, if enough of them go along with it, if enough of them say, well, whoredom is cool and being a ratchet is dope as fuck, then the pushback will be less, right? Because so many people have accepted it now. Like, look how many things we have accepted in masses that was once abnormal, right? That is now the everyday standard. Shout out to Pooh. What up, Jake? Yeah, bro. I'm pushing, bro. I'm pushing. Big salute to you, Jake. But yeah, we take wrong things and make them normal now, and normalize fuckery to the point where the lines are so blurred now. Right? The lines aren't blurred for me. I still stand where I stand. Right? But the more of them that accept it, it becomes the more normal, the everyday bullshit.
I think that's a direct left in like the black community space, saying that we got you guys and there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to sell the disgusting stuff. We're going to do what we want. We're going to put the music out that we want. Like, they'll counsel people who are speaking the truth, but then they'll let people like King Von, who is a serial killer. He's just praised in the black community. He's killed multiple people, but you celebrate him. But people like myself and probably all of you guys on this panel, they denigrate us and they tell us that we are trash and that we're coons and we're anti-black, but they celebrate the people that kill black people. And I can never stand behind it. You listen to that type of music. I don't listen to any prostitution music, and I refuse to listen to music about killing black people. And if you listen to that music, you are part of the problem. I don't care if it's fun. I don't care if it's gay. I don't care how you're looking at it. To me, you're part of the problem if you're intaking that into your spirit. I don't care in what manner. Like, everybody in my family know. I have a family full of liberals, and they know ain't no Cardi B playing around me, ain't no Sexy Red, none of that. I'm not with it. You guys can support her on your own time, but around me, I won't listen to it. I won't allow it. You have to set standards, and that's one thing that black women are not good at. You're not good at setting standards. You're not good at having high morality. Your morals are messed up. Your values.
This is the thing that tripped me out, JC. When they brought out Meg Thee Stallion and them for the DNC party when the campaign was going on. Disrespectful shit, and people just accept it. Barack Obama came out and basically chastised black men, misogyny, what we need to do, et cetera, and they still went out there. And voted the way that the black community wanted them to vote. It is madness. And I'm just saying this in the sense that we're saying that voting is not corrupt. It's clean, it's pure, it's not corrupt. When you vote, your vote counts. That's the objective I'm looking at. I'm having this conversation true right now because I don't really think it is. Okay.
The things that you believe in, and God, like, y'all relationship with God is even toxic. That's how you know it's all messed up. The relationship you guys have with God is toxic. That's why you guys are all single and overweight.
Yeah, and you know what's very interesting, and I'm glad that you brought this up, is that the moment you try to promote anything that's positive within the black community, you get labeled as anti-black. You know, I would never get over the fact that, you know, I made a video on my channel and I talked about how, I don't know if you guys saw this, but during Halloween we had a lot of, you know, white people putting on blackface, and you had, you know, black people all around, oh my God, just getting so outraged and interacting with the content and making videos about the content. And I was getting so frustrated. And so I was like, why are you guys giving them exactly what they want? They want to get a rise out of you. They want to see you act a fool. So that's why they're putting that on their face. You need to pay them dust. The most you should say is, wow, that's corny, and then go about your day. But I had so many Black people in my comment section, you know, trying to argue with me, saying that I was anti-Black because I said, stop giving the racists what they want. I was like, y'all are insane to me. It's literally anything that is positive. That's why I say, and I excuse my language, but Black community, we are ass backwards. Anything that is positive gets demonized as anti-Black. But then y'all will sit over here and praise gangs who are domestic terrorists. And I will stand firm on this point, that these gangs that are terrorizing Black people in Black neighborhoods with Black businesses, y'all will sit over here and put the cape on for them, and y'all get mad. But if I go over here and I say, no, they need to send the National Guard out there and treat them like the domestic terrorists that they are. Oh no, why would you say that? Why are you trying to have this bad thing happen to Black people? First of all, they're terrorizing other Black folks. They just did all this to other Black folks. You mean to tell me you care about Black lives, but you only care when it's a white person taking that life, but you don't give a damn when it's us killing each other? And see, the part that is so interesting is that those same people will tote around a Malcolm X, but guess what? They don't know what the hell Malcolm X said, because even back then, Malcolm X was like, we do a lot of stabbing and shooting of each other, even though we claim to be peaceful people. He was already talking about this issue, but guess what? They want to say, oh yeah, Malcolm X was for the people. If he was alive right now today, saying the same things he was saying back then, they would call him a coon.
Oh, mic drop.
The thing about it is, though, when you give people crumbs, let's call them crumbs. Let's call these little arguments crumbs, right? You give them the small part of the conversation without giving them the large part of the conversation, so they feel like they gain something from it, right? All the outrage, all that emotional manipulation, and those are just more factors of control, right? Because, like I said, anything done in emotion is going to be incorrect, right? All the protesting made nothing happen. All the rioting, nothing happened, right? All the leaders of the community that pull up and give these great grandiose speeches and supposed to galvanize the people and put people on the one accord and get them moving in the right direction. There's no legislature behind it, and the pen is mightier than the sword across the board, right? But once you manipulate it emotionally, you have no logic behind it. There's no logical motion behind it. You dig it?
She ain't never lied. Oh, that's the one right there. That the Malcolm X. They all they know that Malcolm X said is by any means necessary. Anything outside of that, they don't know anything else that Malcolm X said. They love repeating what he said, but they don't read books, guys. Quite frankly, I'm sorry to say this about the Black community, but it's very inverted. Like she said, that is like spot on. That how everything is backwards. Everything that is bad for us. They listen. They give baby mamas baby showers. I'm never gonna get over that. Okay, baby mamas getting baby showers. You don't get a baby shower for being a 3-time baby mama. I just think it's crazy that they give them baby showers. They should not be getting them. And they have these big proms and stuff. And these kids, the child barely got out of high school. Barely made it. But they having all these extravagant proms. They're pulling up in Rolls Royces. And the problem is they get rewarded for degeneracy. I don't know if you guys know who Melba Bucks is, but the Chicago teachers, they had her perform at the Hyde Park School. And she had just had a mass shooting at her album release party where 4 people was killed and like 18 people were shot. And they was like, yeah, we're going to invite her to the school for the kids. It's just everything in the community is backwards. I'm talking to teachers, the politicians, the celebrities. I don't even know who to tell people to look.
Stacey Red went to that school too. I was singing them songs in that school. That was a while ago. It's madness. There's no other way to describe it but madness and dysfunction. And there's not enough people speaking up against it, right? There's not enough people saying that this is fucking correct. There's not enough people saying that I've seen my people do such great fucking things in this world that we live in, that it is so hard to fucking see the shit that goes on today and not feel some type of way about it. They talk about fucking ancestors and ancestors and ancestors. They don't give a fuck. If they cared about their fucking family and their bloodlines, you would see different fucking behavior, but it's never about this. It's about individualism. It's about selfishness. It's all about me. It's about fucking being entitled. It's about being ungrateful. It's about being irresponsible. It's about debauchery. It's about not having fucking any accountability, not having any responsibility, no behavioral fucking control. Everything's supposed to be okay and everything's supposed to go, and nobody could say a fucking thing about it.
Look up to these days. Like, you know, at this point, I don't know who to tell you to look up to.
Because it's supposed to be parents.
Did you guys see where did you guys see where there was this reporter? He was asking Brandon Johnson about the terror and crime going on in his community, and he went off on him.
Yeah, I saw
I saw
that.
that too. Mhm.
Yeah, that was a mess. It's like your city is literally going all the way to hell, and the most you want to do, you're upset at. And see, this is, I'm sorry, I hate to go on all these tangents, but it's just like it's to the point where you get mad at somebody shining a light on the problem, but you're not mad at the problem itself. It's the
Exactly.
same
Right.
type of commentary that I hear about what's his name, Tyler. I just say Oliver because I don't know how to say his last name, but he goes into these different communities and he highlights and he shows the different problems that are happening. And you will have people, specifically Black people, getting on here and saying, "Well, he's sensationalizing it. He's exploiting them." Y'all are mad because this white man has brought a camera to show the dysfunction that's happening in the community, but you're not mad that when he's showing the camera, what we're seeing is a bunch of Black people with bullet hole wounds, a bunch of Black people strung out on drugs, just a bunch of craziness, illegal weapons. Y'all are mad at him for showing a light on it, but you're not mad at the problem itself. You're not mad that there was something for him to show.
Right.
I can't get that.
I think a lot, and it's sad, this is why I like having these discussions, because you have to look at the issues, the things that are actually happening in order to make a difference. You can't gloss over it and act as if it's not happening. That seems to be what's happening. You don't want to really, it's like you want to be perpetual victims, I think. Just want something to keep on complaining about without not actually solving the problem. And I think that's what's happening. So let me ask you this. So what do you think can be done to fix this problem? Do you think it can be fixed? What has to happen for there to be a change when it comes to the Black community, all of it? Do y'all think, because we talked about this before, is there a way to fix it, or it's just doomed?
The Matrix needs to come and flash that little light.
A first key to doing anything is acknowledgement, right? Very first key. Very, very first key is acknowledgement. Then your accountability, right? Then your responsibility. Then your behavioral changes. Very first key. Very, very, very first key. You have to acknowledge the issues.
I think that the key to all of our problems and fixing all of our problems, one of the major keys, just for like the Black community, is realizing that racism, I don't want to say it's a hoax, like there are people that are racist, but like Black people are not oppressed. I think realizing that oppression is not a real thing, like that they're not being like systematically oppressed right now. I think that if they open their eyes to that and then realize that white people are not just their enemies, I think that will do a great deal, because I think a lot of trauma is happening within the Black community. And this is why we see all the drinking and the smoking and the doing drugs and all of that. A lot of it comes from trauma. And I'm not just saying from white people, but Black people really hate white people. They do not like white people whatsoever. And they hate, Black women hate Black men. And then it's the cult-like behavior. We have to stop moving in like a cult. We have a Black cult with the Black culture, and then we have a cult within the cult with Black women. Okay. And if we can't look at those issues right there, like the thinking for ourselves, like if we don't start thinking for ourselves, making better decisions for our community, getting some of these liquor stores off our corners, fixing up our communities, then because we live in, like, Black people actually are in a good position. We live in all the major cities. Okay. We're living in the inner cities, and this is the best place to be. If we build up our real estate that we already have ownership of, we can change a lot of things. If we just decided to stop killing each other, the price of the real estate will go up a lot. But the neighborhoods are so dangerous and no one wants to rent there. No one wants to stay there. But if we actually did that and clean up our neighborhoods, took care of our homes, we would see value in the things that we already have. And that'll be a start without even having to look to the system.
And also I would add to that is, the single mother rates need to change. Like stop having babies with Pookie, Ray Ray, Ricky, Pop, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Just find somebody that you can, that's stable and have a family, create a family, a husband, wife. If we could start creating stable homes again with stable families, the family structure, bring that back, that would help as well. Because now your kids wouldn't, because in my opinion, I think your children should be influenced by you. I think mothers and fathers should be the role models to their kids. And that's something that's lost as well. It wouldn't be even, an issue with Cardi B and Nasty Red and all of the rest of them, because you would be focused on listening to your parents and following their leadership and not the world, social media and celebrities. Because I think that's ridiculous for your kids to follow them anyway. So that I would add to that we need to bring the nuclear family back if possible, where we have stable families so we can raise stable children, because they're the future. And if not, I think we're doomed. I do.
I think people don't realize how practical relationships actually should be, right? Relationships aren't this fantastical thing. Relationships are supposed to be extremely, extremely practical in the sense that two people get together and work it out and get down the line in life, grow old together, have kids, whatever the case is. But I think people are caught up on this physical attraction piece, right? I get looks matter. Absolutely, looks matter. I agree. But relationships are way more practical, and people don't look at them like they're practical.
And when you bring families back, I'm sorry, go ahead, Queen.
Oh, and I was gonna say, and also improvements in the education system, like make it to where once the education improves, that way they'll be wiser in the decision they make as adults, like financially and reading and math and things of that nature too.
Absolutely.
Because
And
a lot
I'm
of them
gonna say
also don't know how to do those things as well, which is why they also
Yeah.
have a like they can't really handle living on their own and making adult decisions when they get out there in the real world too. I've noticed that as well.
Yeah. Education is important. Education is important. Very, very, very important. I realize that it's not a lot of financial literacy being taught. I've noticed this for a while now. And you could see it in how money is spent inside the community, if that makes sense.
By those dash cams. Those dash cam videos show us that they don't know how to act when they get out there on their own. So
absolutely.
I think
I do have to drop out for just a little bit, but I did want to make one statement on this. I think something that can be done is, like I said, these different gangs, they need to be labeled as domestic terrorists and removed from the community, because if they are allowed to be there and fester, then even the good, well-to-do Black people that are just not in a good financial place that have to live there, even if they are striving to do better, if they're living in a war zone, then their options are cut in half. Then, you know, their children are still living in squalor, still living with a lot of fear. So I think that one part of the solution is to get them up out the paint. You know, I always relate it to a cancer. Okay, we can throw as many resources out there, we can build schools, we can do this, that, and the third. But if the terrorists are still there in the community to mess it up, then it's not going to go anywhere. Everything you built up is going to get destroyed the moment it's built, or it won't even get the opportunity to be built. So I think that one of the major points, and honestly, you know, the communities could take the reins on this. You know, this might, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't advocate for anarchy, but you know, there are
no, I feel you. Yeah,
like
see something, say something, do something. Yeah.
There are different communities like in South America where they said they were done with these gangs and they started taking them out. And so now they have a culture there where if you are seen with a gang tattoo, you are in fear of your life, because the regular schmegular everyday people living in those communities, they got sick of it and they started taking them folks out. So, you know, I don't know if I can advocate for stuff like that, but I do think that the cancer within the community needs to be cut out so that anything that is restorative actually has a chance to restore. But I do have to drop out for a little bit. If you guys are still going, then I'll rejoin. But if not, it's very nice talking to you ladies. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you, Sandra.
You are awesome as well.
And you know, I also think that the terrorist sometimes is the mother. Sometimes the mom and the grandma, Geraldine and Joyce, they're the terrorists.
Candy and her family.
It starts at the top.
Right.
Sometimes, so you got to clean your own house. Sometimes y'all have fires in your own house. That's why the kids is running outside trying to get away from the fire. They just running into more fires.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants to address the women when it comes to this. Just because she got on a skirt, I mean, your mama's a terrorist. She's tearing up the family. She's a tornado. I mean, when that's your leader, when your mom is turning all the siblings against each other, your mom is gossiping all through the family. Your mom is rooting for you to lose. I've seen moms have sons that have wives, and they instantly don't like the wives because that's their son husband. I mean,
don't go there.
Oh my God.
That the mother is a tornado, man. Sometimes on fires gotta be put out. And the fire starts with Geraldine. I'm telling you, it does.
But look, oh my God, listen, and this is some real, what you're speaking is real life. Is in my family. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to that, but they're afraid to address the matriarchy. You know, they're afraid to address their mothers and the grandmothers who gave them all this bad advice first off, and then the ones who act just like you just say. Nobody wants to address it. If you say anything, you're the bad guy. You're the bad person for bringing it up, or even address you can't. You're being disrespectful if you were to, you know, question that. You can't question the matriarch of the family. You can't do it, or you're going to be shunned for life.
I call them the untouchables. I call them out of women.
You can't question them though.
Like,
you know what? They raise their children to not question them, to think that they're always right. And this is why you do see that with the sons. And the sons, like I saw something, Tony Sotomayor, I think is his name, and he was just speaking to, like, you know, these women is the ones that let these, you know, boys sell drugs and come in their house and buy them sofas, and they're the ones that, you know, when the football players, they go to the league, the first thing they want to do is buy their mama house. Their mama set them up like that for that, because guess what? She ain't got no man. Okay, your father left her, and then she didn't turn you against your father and turned you into your father, so you can provide for her. And that's exactly what happens when it comes to these women.
This is refreshing to hear because men say it, and it can be received as misogyny, hate, you don't like your mother, all this other bullshit that gets tossed in there, right? But when you have gentle women like this, because they all gentle, they all come across really sweet, kind, polite. They come across like it's good people to be around, right? When they are saying it has a difference in it. When Messi says it has a difference in it, right? When you have Take Heed and Luke Hazley, and what's my girl name? Dark skin one, Maggie, right? When they talking about these things, right? they come across proper. It sounds better coming from them. And that's just a fact. Some things just sound better coming from women. Some things sound better coming from men. It's just that simple. But we say it, it could be perceived in a certain way. When they say it, how the fuck could you, Reva, that's who the other one is, Reva. You can't perceive this in no other way other than women talking to women, possibly giving each other advice, and people who are watching this could hear these conversations. That's why this thing, this medium called YouTube can be used for such great things. And when people do it in that way and use it for purposeful things, educational purposes, advice purposes, life skill, whatever it is, when people use these mediums for those positive things, I really do enjoy that. So shout out to y'all one more time. And we back at it.
Women are the problem, and they're the ones that's raising killers. So who the real killer? You raising them, and I think that, like when she said that you gotta clean out the gangs, you can't clean out the gangs because you're gonna have to knock off black women too, because they ain't gonna let you. Those are their babies.
The lady in Chicago,
it really is.
The mother in Chicago that was talking about the school, since you were talking about the gangs, she said, when I was growing up, I was GD crazy.
Oh,
and then as she was talking, she said, I'm still GD crazy. And I'm like, oh, so that's that gang culture. So now she done went from a jit to a grown woman, and she's still like the same kind of boys, which is why her sons are beating up mothers trying to walk their kids home from school. That is so sad. That made me so
They're not tired
mad.
of burying their children yet. They're not tired of burying their children. At this point, I think that they're okay with it. They'll rather their children die than to do something different. They'll rather their children die in the streets. Like, most people probably don't know, like when you get Section 8 and you get funding from government, you don't have to stay in the city. You can move anywhere in the country with your Section 8. And a lot of people don't know that, but you really can't. And these people will sit there and manipulate you and tell you that, oh, I can't afford to leave, and I can't afford this. No, they just don't want to. I'm telling you, they can afford it. They got all the BBLs. I know they can afford it. I'm telling you, they can afford it. They get their taxes every year. They buy cars. They go do all this expensive stuff. They take trips. Well, how do you think they're taking these trips? How do you think that they're out the country? These girls go out the country more than I do. I don't even go out the country. They are everywhere. They got their nails done all the time. They got their hair done all the time. They can change things they don't want to. That's why you've seen them all in a panic when it came to the EBT being cut off. You get to see who the brokies are when they turn off that EBT and they take that them stamps away and they take that Section 8 away. You see who's complaining, and that's what it really boils down to. These women want their children to be losers, essentially. And if you look at the Willie Lynch letter describes exactly this about the black woman, about how she's going to be hyper dependent and she's going to raise basically strong, stupid kids. They'll be strong, but they'll be stupid. They'll just do whatever the system tells them to do because they are products of the system. She's a product of the system. And you can see the black men, they're doing better than the black women. They even raise children better than black women. The black women don't want to hear this. If you want to do the best thing for your children, then give it to the man. I'd rather them raise the children on their own than to give it to a black woman. Sorry. And then the ones that y'all don't even keep, the one y'all killing them in your stomach. Like, okay, why did you have the baby then? Y'all believe in, y'all so pro-choice. Why did you have the baby if you're going to be a loser parent? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Because I always say women like they love babies. They don't like kids. And the court system, we've given the women all the advantage over the kids. You know, we're gonna have a problem. Like I said before, we got little boys that sit on the toilet while they pee. You got little boys sitting on the couch while their mama cut the grass.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
They can't raise men. That's what it boils down to. They can't raise men. They can barely raise surviving children. So.
Yeah, I mean, and then they're having children as leverage in a sense, like, oh, you're gonna get some more government assistance. I've seen it. You know, you have all these children by all these different men because they're gonna give you a little bit more on the assistance, and
that's the wildest things ever, though. Not the wildest, but having children for more government assistance, having children to trap men. That's a living being we're talking about. We're talking about a living being. But to look at this thing like it's a paycheck is fucking gross to me. That shit is cold.
Still not a whole lot, but still, it's like leverage to them. They're not prepared to raise these children for real, but they just want the benefits that come with it. But I think there's a whole lot of reasons as to why I think a lot of these women are having these children. Either but it's not for the right reasons. It's not because you want a family and really raise. That's why these children are not reading on the levels that they should. They're not educating them properly. A host of things that's going wrong with these kids, and they don't care. They still run around trying to be Cardi B. Like, come on.
A lot of times they was just horny.
That too, and then I mean, yeah, they're just out here busting it open for whoever. They're not thinking about their actions. And this is why when you call it out, they're so mad and angry. They want to fight. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's no real explanation for your choices. Yeah, we all grown and you can make your own choices. But I mean, if you're posting your foolishness on social media and I get to see it and I have an opinion on it and it's against what you believe, that ain't my fault. That's your fault. You should have been more careful about your choices and how you're looking and what you're presenting on social media. Nobody would know that you got 5 baby daddies and all of this struggling if you didn't post it. You post it on social media so people get to have an opinion about it. And
Right. Once it's there, it's there. Because it's not privacy anymore. right? You could have kept that stuff private, but it's not private no more. Now it's public. And when things are in the public, they susceptible to be scrutinized. It's just that simple. Yeah, nice and easy, Dee Dee.
Now that you don't like the opinion, somehow is my problem. I'm a pick me because I see the foolishness or your your behavior. So go ahead.
And now you see as the parents are getting older now, right? So
Right.
now they sit in nursing homes. You know, all the siblings are flipping coins, like who gonna go pick up dad or mom because they were bad parents. So they're wanting this good treatment, and you did not raise your kids right. You didn't even like your kids, and now you think they about to come get you and put you up in a room in their house, and you don't even like them. They don't. They're done with your
Women
talk.
screwed their kids up. Some of these women just screwed their kids right up, and it could look like they did a good job. Like Kevin Durant mom.
Yo, she don't care, yo. I don't care what nobody. You can't convince me that Kendra really cares about these people. I'm not convinced. Nope, you can't convince me. You cannot convince me, dog.
Like screwed him right up, like he up there thinking it was my mom and my mom made this possible. Like, no, like no, she didn't make this possible. And I know that you're like, she took care of me, she did all she could do, but no, she didn't make this possible. You got lucky. Is what happened. You got lucky. And for you to try to give this like your mother all the praise as if like she is, oh, it was just her. No, it was you. That you made it happen. You withstand your odds. It's not something that everyone is going to get. Most of these men that do get into the league and stuff, yeah, they're with single mothers. And they like, what the guy said, you got to buy your single mother a house because what? She don't got a husband. If she had a husband, you wouldn't have to buy her a house, right? But that's the first thing y'all got to do. And I'm so tired of them getting parties for being baby mamas. They celebrate it. They throw parties for everything nowadays. Like these women, they celebrate anything. They celebrate being single. Like, I'm back single, girl. Let's go out and go.
And their divorces.
Like this is not
Right.
parties.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Why are we celebrating you being single?
Right.
And it's just it's totally inverted. And that sisterhood, I'm telling you, if you're a sisterhood member, you are a detriment to society.
Damn. JC got that fire flame, dog. This idea of singleness is wild to me. Nothing in this world exists alone by itself. But for some reason, this idea got into the minds of people, especially women, which are the fairer sex on the planet, right? They're the fairer ones. They're the softer ones, right? They're the ones that need the protection. They're the ones that need to be looked out for. All of a sudden, their mindset is they don't need a relationship. They don't need marriage. They don't need a man. And now those things are the positive things that got families and families and families for generations and hundreds of years and thousands of fucking years that we've been on this planet, true life. To the point where bloodlines are still on this world, people bloodlines, people family bloodlines are still here today. Now all of a sudden the switch. Now all of a sudden something miraculously happened that now relationships and marriage are just not key and essential anymore. This is madness, bro. But I keep telling you, once you start looking at women as objects for their sexual pleasures, right? I mean, sexual pleasure. My bad, you too. And women start looking at men as paychecks and pipe, then we're already off, right? There is no comprehension of the value of the other person, right? They're not equal, but they're very much compatible. They go together. They're very, very, very much paired. So I don't see this. Well, we know where it comes from. I don't want to get into all that. And they don't even money. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So
we call it Order 66 or the gynocracy.
Oh God.
Right.
So look. So what do y'all think about men, women, these single mothers trying to pressure men into dating them and taking them seriously? What's your thoughts on that? Should men be okay with dating, single mothers, 3-time single mothers, 400 pounds? You know what I'm saying? Like, should that be something they should be looking forward to?
No.
With their kids, should date them people with the kids. People that have kids should date people with kids. That's what I think. I think the blended family thing probably works best in those situations. But you're never like a man is always going to choose a woman with no children over a woman with children. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you might find a liberal or like something that's like, oh, it's okay, but you're not going to get a man. A real man do not want to deal with another man's children. I'm sorry. They don't want to deal with the household. Now, some men, I will say, will date a woman probably if she have one child and it's a simple situation and she's a different person and whatever. But
yeah, they celebrate divorce, have divorce parties. That's wild to me. That shit is wild. You celebrate failure. That's what a divorce is. A divorce is failure. You celebrate failure. That's crazy.
And just simply don't want to have to deal with another man's children. They want a woman that can bear their children. They don't want to have a blended family. Like, I don't know.
But I talked about this not too long ago on Jeff St. James podcast, Ask a Brother podcast. Shout out to him. I saw him in the chat. The thing about it is even if a man with children accepts a woman with children, he's still going to have to take on the brunt and the financial load of her kids plus her. So that's, and I can see why most men wouldn't want to do that, even if he has kids, because typically, if he has kids, maybe from a previous marriage or relationship, those children probably live with the mother, and he's probably either paying child support or supporting his kids financially. To take on another woman with maybe 2-3 kids as well, those kids are going to live with him and her if they get together. So now he's got his kids plus hers. That's just, and then the expectations on top of that from the woman. She probably doesn't understand how to work within a relationship or with a man. So she's expecting, the sisterhood Bonnie Crew members price. So like, pay everything. You need to make 6 figures. You need to pay for me and my kids. I can, pay for the trips. You got to do all. That's unrealistic. And I think that's the problem. And I was saying this too, they don't even know how to come in with a willingness to cooperate. You have this mindset that, he has to do it all. And if not, he's not good enough when you come with baggage, so even still, but I do agree that if you have kids, maybe you should look to date, people with kids, but still that for the man, that's still going to come at a heavier price.
I agree, because it flows better. People tend to have the comprehension of what it takes to raise a child, right? They tend to comprehend. They tend to have that level of care because they already went through the process, right? They've been to birth, they did first birthday, second birthday, third birthday, buying this, buying that, running, ripping, hospital run here, school this, that fee, this fee. They have a greater comprehension of it as a man with a child and a woman with a child. So blending that should be a little bit more easier than, let's say, somebody coming in with a clean slate, somebody coming in with baggage already. I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yes, women are coming in with the bare minimum. They want a fortress. They want everything.
Yeah,
and women with multiple kids, they have a mental illness. I'm sorry. Everybody got their own last name. Everybody got their own family. Come on, give me a break. I mean, there are men that will sometimes take one sometimes, but being a stepfather a lot of times is a thankless job. I've been at the weddings where the stepfather didn't raise that kid since they've been one, and then here comes the dad coming down, and they look at the stepdad like, no, not you.
Right.
I'm a stepmom, and it sucked for me. It still sucks for me. I'm sorry. I would not suggest any young lady walk into a situation where there is a baby mama terrorist. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. Right. I'm sorry. And I see. I have friends of mine that, they're in blended families and their children call their stepmom, glam mom, or, they have these little cute terms, it was never like that for me because, my husband has a baby mama terrorist. It was always on 10, always on 12. It was never about what it was supposed to be. It was always about how she could stick it to him, make him drive 8 hours and then say, my baby ain't going with you, make him do all of these things and then say, oh, that ain't good enough. You should have did more, when all she's doing, like, you cannot appease them. And even if you think that you have a good woman that, she has children and she's acting right now with you, there will be times later on where you will see that her children come first before their family too. Like if it's their grandmother, even if it's the paternal grandmother of the father that's not around, she will prioritize that over you. I have a son. He's 15. I don't want him to bring a lady home from college and say, Mom, I would like you to meet so-and-so. And this is Junior, her kid from some other man. Right. I'm not going to be excited about that. Right. And women drag me for saying that. And recently a man just dragged me for saying it, wishing all this bad stuff on my son. Like, just because you raise him that way doesn't mean that that's what he's going to do when he gets older. No, he can make his own decisions. But as far as what mommy's standard is, he's going to know that I'm never going to be 100% on board with that. Right. And in his own situation, he's grown up to understand that blended families are not always easy, and it's hard for him. The dichotomy between my son and his half sister, it's a strained relationship. It is not a good relationship, and it's because they're raised completely different, and there is no cohesion. There's nothing that I can do or his father can do to bridge that gap now, So I've kind of like contributed to more of the madness for my own family. So now I get what my mom was saying when she was like, wait a minute, do you really want to do this? This is really serious. It is really serious. And it's not just from 1 to 18. It's forever. It's forever.
Yeah. People think that when your kid is 18, you're done with your kid. No, it's not. It's impossible. It's still your kid.
It's marriages, it's holidays, it's forever. So don't do it.
I totally agree with you. I have sons and I say it all the time. There's no way. Now you're right. They can, they could go on and say, you know what, Mom, I really love her, but I'm going to be strongly against it. No, some Bonnie crew member comes here with 3 kids, 2 kids, 3 baby daddies, 3 baby, whatever. I'm gonna tell you straight up, nah, I'm not. No, that's your.
That's a good point. That's a good point that Raquel made, right? About the strain and the stress that goes on into it. And Dee Dee banged the drum earlier when she says that the man was to be taking on the heaviest piece, right? Because now he's providing not just for his own kid, but he's providing for the other kid also, right? So it's not an easy thing. Trust me, it's not an easy thing. But just the fact that he's there alone, right, means that they need to be on the same accord to smoothen out there. Like Rochelle was just talking about the differences between son and the stepsister or stepsister. The relationship is strained out because they were raised differently, right? So because it's two different DNA sets, right? It's 2 different DNA sets there, raised differently. So nature and nurture is going to be off. I'm jacking it. I'm with it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've done it also, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Do it.
Appreciate y'all representing for us and talking for us, the men that actually did it, right? Tried to do the blended family thing and try to, try it. The men that's doing it. I appreciate y'all talking about it for sure.
Don't do it. I'm not for it. I just don't think you, and then you don't have any kids, you don't have any children. So I don't see that. No, go. You can find. You're young. You can go find a woman who hopefully that who doesn't have any kids, and build your own family. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, if that's what they choose to do, and they end up doing it, okay. Well, we can't control.
Yeah, we got to make the best of it, right?
I'm not gonna make it easy. I'm gonna let you know straight up that I don't agree with it. But what you end up doing is okay. I gotta accept it. But no, I agree with you. No, I don't want my sons. No, I would not at all. So you can go shame somebody else because they're trying to shame these men to want them shame somebody.
Right.
Because you want the best for your kid, Dee Dee. Right, Kel. From your perspective, what you're talking about, you're saying that you want the best opportunities for your child. Now, if your child's going to go out there and be the man of the household, you want all his efforts, you want all his time, his resources, his love, his care, his like to be invested in one direction, and and you want it to be his DNA. Him and his lady come together, they mix, you want it to be that one straight line. I know exactly what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the baby moms be like the puppet master over there when kids come home. They be looking like, what you do? What you have on? What I was watching? What they buy? Like, and the kids, she over there just being a puppet master with the kid, like messing the kid up. And a lot of times the men didn't leave the mom. He was never with her. It was like the drive-through. It was a drive-through stop. Yeah, stop. With no longer than oil change.
Oh my God. Listen, I say that all the time because I'm like, a lot of these women talking about, oh, well, the men just left. Oh, they just left the household. They decided not to take care of the responsibility. They were never there. Like you said, it was a pit stop. You was just hitting it and quitting it, and you got pregnant. And you didn't care about no protection, none of that. You was busting it open and you didn't care about nothing. Oh, I literally heard a woman say she was there for the D. She wasn't thinking about the baby. What? So you was out here just doing it, and you didn't think that it was a possibility that you might end up pregnant. You didn't care. It wasn't a relationship. He was cute. He was 6 feet tall, he was the typical Pookie, and you was attracted to that because they all attracted to Pookies and Ray Ray. So so Pookie was fine, and you gave him some, and you wanted it too. You had a good time. He didn't. Then you ended up pregnant, and he didn't want no baby. He didn't want you. So did he really leave you? He wasn't really there.
Right, that is so true. He was never there. That is so
never
true.
there.
And Black women be so mad that nobody wants a baby mama. Like, Kevin Samuels, I'm telling you, like Kevin Samuels did something to like the university. He like cracked a matrix or something where everybody was like able to
rest in peace.
finally see these women for what they were, and just like all of their unrealistic, because not only do they think that someone should put up with their children, but they think that it should be a 6-figure dude. Like, it's not like they're like, okay, I'll accept a regular guy if he puts up with my children. She's like, no, I want what the girl with no kids get.
Right.
I want the same thing she gets. I want what the girl that made good choices get.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't have nothing else to offer these men, though. She doesn't even bring anything to the table. This is why she got the 3 kids. And this is a man won't leave you with 3 kids if you was bringing something to the table, if you was the person that he wanted to be with, if you was going to be that man's wife. And this is what's wrong with Black women. I just watched a video I did a video about them being asked questions about if they would have sex with a married man that would take them to town or date a mediocre guy, and they all were like, I want to marry him. They don't care that he's married, and that's another thing about it, because they're the ones. These are the girls. Like, Black women are the girls that are there to ruin other people's lives. They want to ruin other relationships because they'll never have one. So these are the women that are going to be sleeping with the women that have husbands. They're going to sleep with they're going to like entice your husband on purpose. Not even like your husband have to be doing anything to want them. They're going to extra want him, especially if they find out he's married, especially if they find out he has a beautiful wife, especially if they find out that he's the proper man to his wife. They're really going to want him, not even understanding that he would never be that for her. And that's what they just want proximity to greatness. That's all. That's all. You ever seen a porn star talking? She's like, I deal with powerful guys all the time. Yeah. You deal with them behind closed doors. They'll never go public with you.
Right,
They'll never be with you. They like proximity to greatness. I deal with police officers. I deal with this guy and this guy. Oh yeah, I mess with this basketball player and that. Yeah, saying how what they did to you.
Right.
That's what a lot of women don't want to realize, and that's why for me personally, when I'm dating dudes,
beat, ski, and retreat.
I'm like, yo, I don't want you to to talk to me and then to talk to them. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't want these women to have the same access as me to a man.
Yes.
Like necessarily the cheating part, like that's another thing. But the fact that you gave a woman like this access to you is ridiculous. You better cheat with a woman of quality. You better cheat with something that's better than me, so I can understand why you cheated. But to cheat with a baby mama, I would be offended. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't really be offended because I know that this is what they're used for. They're like cum dumpsters. I get it, but still.
God damn it.
It doesn't feel good. It would feel much better if she was better than, instead of worse than.
Well, it wouldn't feel good to me at all because y'all know I ain't for the cheating, but I see what you're saying. If you go,
I ain't for it either. Dee Dee. I'm not.
I don't like cheaters either. I don't like.
Yeah, but I just feel like
saying.
If
That's what they do.
Right, at least I get what you're saying. At least she
they come after women. You could be happy. You could be happy. That's why you don't want to post like your man because these women you post your man on the internet. These women are in the DM telling them what they would do and all of this stuff, and it's just like. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Listen, I've been through it. I know how women get down. And that's why that sisterhood stuff is real. It is real. And they sleep with each other's men too. Don't think it's just yours. They probably sleep with each other too. Because
definitely they
on
do.
Those girls trips that they be so desperate to go on.
Yeah.
So desperate to go on the girls trips. It's disgusting.
Yes, so desperate to go on the girls trips. Yes.
They on the cool kind of trip. I always say the women, they'll leave their men because the men that cheat on them, right? They'll leave them like, I'm leaving, he cheated on me. But then you leave to go be somebody's mistress in your 50s.
Right. Red talk ain't kind of funny.
To have Walter coming through your door at 11:30 at night, but you done left this man
thing outside of what they believe and feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the sisterhood told us we are all 10s. I said it before, 400 pounds. And I'm a 10. I will not accept a bare minimum. It's just like, what? Please, ain't nobody checking for you for real. Like, y'all ain't no man of status who has standards. Or they're looking at you as an option, but they believe they believe the hype. They really think that they're 10s, and they no matter how big they are, no matter how unrealistic their standards are, they're still the best of the best. And who you got a 6'13" bust down wig with your nails and all the makeup and all that stuff, 400 pounds, and you still think you everything and 10 bags of chips. And the man's supposed to be like chasing you. What they want the men to what they say now, they complain about men not approaching them for one, and then men not obsessed with them. That's the thing, obsessed with them anymore.
They can't approach him. They was cussing Mr. Charles out at the Kroger's. They didn't even want
to at the grocery store. Yeah.
They pour Mr. Charles out, but like they don't know what to say y'all no more. Like you don't get to have it both. You can't have fire and water in the same hand. It doesn't make sense. No, and the reason why they think they are is because women don't tell other women the truth. Women sit there and tell Lizzo that outfit look good, but butt cheeks hanging out.
Right.
Like it don't. She's cover up.
I'm talking about Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing about like when it comes to Lizzo or even Monique, these women will tell you how beautiful fat is and then lose weight. I don't even understand how they're not catching on now. They just sold you on fat and then they turned around and lost weight on you. Like how did you not see this? Like how are you guys not like because they believe Black women are that dumb. Okay. I think they're I don't know if I can say this, sisterhood. I think they're the dumbest demographic in America. I think they're the dumbest out of everybody. Every demographic in America, they would be the dumbest. And it's not to be offensive. It's just to say that Black women have a lot of work to do. Okay. And I am a Black woman and I don't like being represented by them.
The statue in New York.
Something else. Like, I don't know. I already pressed other on the black, white, purple, green thing. I pushed at this point, I'm not even like that.
No,
I get other on them. Like, I don't
know what, Carmen, they will come for you for that because you know that's, oh my God, she's a Black woman and she's saying that. But you have to distinguish yourself from the rest. This is what they talk about too. Like if there are good women out here, they're standing too close to the women who aren't. Right. So there's no distinction. If you're dressing like that, if you're not, presenting yourself as, as a representation of who you are and who you want to be portrayed as, then you're looked at, as the same, even if you're not. So I think it's very important to distinguish yourself from the rest, to say, hey, this is whatever you are. This is what I am. This is what I want to be approached as, and this is what I want to be represented as such. Because I mean, if I'm not a hoe, I'm not going to be standing next to the hoes and dress like them. No, I'm going to dress like a lady, like whatever it is I want to be approached as or presented as. So I think it's important to distinguish yourself from, because that's what's at the forefront. That's what we see. That's what people look at when it comes to the Black community or Black women and say, oh, this is what Black women are all about. This is what they look like. They're 304s. They're ratchet. They're loud. They're ghetto. And that's not all of us. So you have to distinguish yourself.
Yeah, like
if you're not a gangbanger, why would you go hang out with the gangbangers? Right? Why would you want to associate yourself with something that you're not about? If you want to strive for higher education, why would you not associate yourself with groups that do tutoring, groups that do extra schoolwork activities, right? You associate yourself with the thing that you want to be known for. I've been saying this shit on this podcast for the fucking longest time. Separate yourselves. Separation is key. Dee Dee is absolutely correct. You cannot tell who is who. You can't tell the good ones from the birds. You can't. No man is going to go in there and sift through a group of 10 to figure out which one is the good one. It's not going to happen. They're going to see it. Oh, yep. Birds of a feather flock together. Just that simple.
They say we big boned it. No. Me and Precious have the same skeleton.
Right.
Okay. Liz on me. They're not gonna know if we passed. They're not gonna know who's who. Like there's no such thing as big boned. They've been trying to make men buy this forever. I don't care how many Ivory commercials you make. I don't care how many videos Lizzo does. The results it shows, and it's sad because you see what's happening. Look at the kids. You got huge, big old fat teenagers. You know what I mean? How are the 16-year-olds bigger than Maggie the grandma? How's your waist bigger than your grandma's? Because
can I ask a question?
Waist bigger than your grandma's is crazy. I'm sorry.
Right.
Anna, golly.
So what do y'all
Anna kind of kooky, but I like Anna energy though.
think about the Black women? I don't know, like if y'all seen it's a girl, I forget, I think their name is like the Fernands or the Fitzgeralds. It's the Fitzgeralds. And it's a Black woman and she's pretty young. I believe she's like 40. I'm young compared to the guy. She's about 40 and the guy is like maybe 75 or something. He's pretty up there. He might not be 75, maybe he's like 70. But what do you think about the Black women that get the older white men and they go marry them, but they never really fix their inner trauma? So they like kind of, they're dating Black men do them wrong, and then instead of like healing and doing the inner work, they just go find a rich white man to essentially just fund their lifestyle, and then they'll just obviously it's like a sugar daddy, but like they're starting to marry them these days. So it's like they're starting to marry their sugar daddy, kind of like the Summer Walker thing where she I don't know if you guys seen her album cover with her like I don't know if sugar daddy I want to say, but what do you think about that? Because I find that to be a little disturbing, and these white men that take on these Black women, I think they fetishize about them, like it's like a fantasy or fetish, and they'll just like
do whatever it is that he wants her to do. So I feel like it's easy, and if she's still sleeping with the pookies on the side, that's what she really want to be.
Small, you'll find panda hair in New York City first on the ground. And the truth of the matter is, when you see them women on Instagram and social media saying how they got this man, this white man, he's old, he got hair in New York City on the ground first.
Like I'm not just fair if you can pay all your bills and stuff, but I think it's really funny that when they do get into those situations, they're all of a sudden feminine. They're all of a sudden listening to what men are saying, and a lot of the times, like they'll put on a more feminine role for these men. You'll see them change completely, and it's like
their voice
about them is they bow to money. Money is like I realize that's their god. Money is Black women's god, and the real god is, I think they slay Jesus if he came back. I really do. I think like I already know they was what if Jesus ain't listen. They would, and then they would call him a broke ass nigga and everything.
Yes.
That would happen if Jesus came back to a Black woman. It's sad. Hopefully he comes to one of us, because if he came to me, he's gonna cause a problem.
Oh my God.
No, I think it's gross. And I was going to say that, they're only doing it for the money.
Right.
And for Summer Walker to tout that older white man for that last award show, it was just that, like trying to promote that, to the young ladies. Like, don't even bother with the Pookies anymore. Now that I've had 2 Pookies babies, let's not bother with them anymore. Let's go get these older white men and use them. But they don't understand that they're also being used for something, so it's not a place of empowerment. It's still a place of, lowness. It's not empowering. And then I would ask, if these older white men are marrying you, are they leaving you their assets? Because there was like a big fight with that Anna Nicole lady, right? When that billionaire man that she married wanted to leave her assets, the man's children were fighting them, the estate with that. So it's like, think about it. Be strategic when you date. You are supposed to be strategic. You're not supposed to be out here spreading it low and wide, but you're also not supposed to be leading with the thought that you're going to be able to take advantage of the man that you're with. So I think that's what makes it really gross and disgusting, that you'd be willing to take advantage of someone for money and personal gain. That is gross to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I wonder if those marriages last. How long? Because a lot of times they don't. But it's like Ray Talk Anna said, it's a small percentage, and most of them aren't married. They usually just, this is their sugar daddy until he find a younger version of her, then she's kicked to the curb and somebody else. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, y'all.
Yeah, she putting baby on the steps in the bathroom, hoping he fall. I mean,
Girl.
I'm just saying, like,
Putting baby oil on the floor in the bathroom. Like,
she's doing everything.
Oh
I'm
my
trying
God.
to get rid of Mr. Paul.
Waiting for him to die? Like, that's
Smell Roses, you said that Summer Walker stuff, and I think that right there with Summer Walker was key because if you pay attention to Summer Walker, she went through like this whole healing process, and then she popped out with Rico Reckless, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, you went through this whole healing process, and then you pop out with someone like Rico Reckless, and you thought something was going to be different.
that was going to be
Like,
better. Yeah.
like you could just tell that these women are not actually holding themselves accountable. She probably went through a process of being like, okay, he went like, you know, it was him, none of it was me, which is a thing that Black women have a problem with identifying their role that they play in things because they're always innocent. And yeah, when she pops out with Rico Reckless and then that doesn't work, and then she's like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to just date old white men. You know, she still didn't do any more inner work. And then she do the I'm gonna date old white men thing, which she was. And then now she's like caught with and
40 bricks.
was yeah. And then now she wants to ruin women's lives who
Like what you
have a
said
relationship.
earlier.
Like, yes, this is what they it's a cycle. So now she went through that cycle of want to have her own man. It didn't work out because she's choosing bad. It didn't work out because she's choosing bad. Then she tried one more time. It doesn't work out. She moves on and you say, you know what, I'm giving me a sugar daddy. And she got her sugar daddy because he's not making her happy. And she's like, let me go check on somebody else's man. Whose relationship can I ruin so I can have company in my misery? And that's what they do.
I mean, I expect people.
Marriage. He was just cheating. This Diggs guy, he's had 4 babies so far, plus her baby. Now that
this up. Frederick Howard 2300. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says shout out to Dee Dee at Mrs. Smell the Roses, a panel of lionesses. Successful MD says it's if you avoid the Bonnet Brigade, you're a pick me. Exactly. And see if there's any more in here, y'all. We're trying to get through to them. I heard that before. Very good point. Queen Vibes, what's your thoughts on it? What do you think?
all of these government programs start to shrink, I think that for the
and don't get their act in control, the Black just look at how they voted in the last.
And they'll
Maybe sooner than later they'll realize that, hey, okay, I lost them, y'all. I don't know if I guess that's all of them. I don't
take accountability for their mistakes. So I
There we
mean, I want to be doom and gloom, but at the same time, I do have a little faith that it'll eventually come around, but it's just gonna take a really long time.
Carmen, what you think?
I think that we are probably, I don't know. I think if we're waiting on Black women to change and, you know, it's going to be a while. You know, you can just look at how they voted in the last election. 92% of them voted for Kamala Harris. So you can see that about 8% of Black women, and I'm not saying that everybody that voted for Kamala Harris is like an idiot or something, but it does say to the ideology, you know, and what these women believe in. And a lot of them could just be like feminists, but you see, like, to me, I think that it's going to take a lot. Because it's not like a lot of people think it's just like the ghetto Black women, but look at the celebrities. Look at Ciara, she's married, she can't stop twerking. You know, look at all of them. They have no one to look up to. Look at Beyonce. Even all of them are doing that. They're perpetuating these same ideas down to these people at the bottom, and the bottom is feeding right back up to them. So I don't know. I really know that if Black women don't get their act in control, the Black community is done. I hope that Black women are able to see it. I'm even thankful that it was 6 of us on here today. I've never been in on a panel with as many Black women that think like I do, because usually they just don't. So I'm like, what? Like, I kind of want to keep hope alive for Black women, and that's why I do my content. And if you pay attention to my content, I've been really focusing on them recently, because I hope that if you keep paying attention to them and giving them, trying to talk it through with them and letting them see where the problems lie, hopefully they'll pick up on it. But I'm just not so sure. I'm not so sure because they hate Black men and they hate white people. So
yeah, Carmen is a dog, yo. Carmen is a dog. She's been killing ants with sledgehammers out this bit. She's a dog fishing with dynamite. She ain't playing. She ain't playing at all. Shout out to Carmen JC. This is why we need to stick together on her. We got the fakes. I agree. The more that y'all do this, right? The Dee Dee panel, the Sandra Yu, the Lucasely, Maggie, the more that y'all do this, it's the louder it's gonna be, right? It's gonna have a louder effect. That's it. That's it. When you ring the bell, nobody in the world could do anything to unring it. KS came in here, rest in peace, Big G, and rang the bell, and it has not been unrung since. It started. It's already gone. But like I said, coming from us, it sounds a certain type of way. But coming from y'all, members of the community, right? The reflection of Black women, being a Black woman. Now you could possibly be an American Black, you could be an African Black, you could be a Caribbean Black, UK Black, whatever the case is, right? It doesn't fucking matter until it comes to us having internal conversations per se, because externally, all they see is a black woman. That's all they're gonna see is a black woman. Y'all reflect each other. So in this conversation, these talking points and these ideas and these truths are coming from y'all. It sounds way more proper. It looks way more proper. But then again, you're gonna be called a pick me, and you hate black women, and you're talking white people talking points. Got it. Right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Smell the Roses?
Oh, I think that for the older women, the more mature women, I think that they're just cooked, and we gotta let them alone. We gotta let them alone. But for the younger women, I think that, I think that they see more of what maybe we didn't see in our mothers when we were growing up. Like now there's YouTube, there's TikTok, there's other people talking about accountability and things that are bad in our community, and that the things that shouldn't be celebrated. And I feel like with the younger people, they'll be more prone to accept our messaging and make some changes, because as we see SNAP and all of these government programs start to shrink, and these older women who are going to be grandmas soon not be able to take care of themselves, I feel like that will show the younger women, oh, well, I can't let this be me. So I don't want to turn into my mom, and I don't want my daughters that I have to turn into me that turned into my mom. So let me start to do some course correction. But I think that's with the young ladies like under 30. If you're at 30 now and you are hearing these messages and you're adopting that gynocracy attitude that women know everything better and men are the scum of the earth, then you're cooked. And we're not looking to save you. And I feel like men should just move on from these women and not give them any attention. Once we start ignoring them, they'll either go away and click up with themselves, and then there'll be those spinsters that people used to talk about in the 30s and 40s, and that will be a form of shame, and that will quiet the voices.
Right. A good point, because I've heard others say that.
Shame is a motherfucker, G. Shame is a motherfucker. People need to be shamed. Degenerate behavior needs to be shamed, bro. It's just that simple. Not promoted, not supported. You don't turn your back on it, right? You call it for what it is. Separate yourself from these negative things. Separate yourself from people who do not align with your interests. Gangbangers hang out with gangbangers. The ratchets hang around with the ratchets. If you don't want no parts of that, why are you even around? Separation is key, man. For all the good ladies out there, the good women out there, the women that's on their way, the young ladies that are becoming women, growing into these stages in life, you have to put yourself around people who really actually do give a fuck about you enough to tell you the hard truth of things. Same for men. You have to hang around people that tell you the hard truth about things. That's how you really care for somebody. You don't see them failing. You don't see them going down the wrong path. And because it's your homie, because it's your child, because it's your brother, because it's your sister, you don't say nothing to them. That's not love. That's not like. You basically voting for that person's destruction.
Same thing, that just don't pay any attention to them, because they need that attention to keep them thriving and going. So if you just ignore them and act like they don't exist, that may change something. I've heard that before. Very good point. Queen Vibes, what's your thoughts on it? What do you think?
Well, I kind of do agree with Miss Raquel. So pretty much the youth, like there is a higher chance that they can come back from like the disaster that we're pretty much dealing with right now. But the older women, there's no saving them.
Hannah, what you think?
I mean, I definitely think it definitely is going to start the higher ups, right? But we know the chance of that happening is probably not going to happen. I think that until women start doing like a real life self audit and really understanding how they are moving, until they stop being lazy and start caring about their own self, I mean, we're going to be in this little train of dysfunction, because until they get off of it, we're going to keep heading that direction. Until they understand fantasy and reality. And right now, a lot of them are not in reality. A lot of them are going to have to be thrown off the Empire State Building to get an understanding. Until they get to the bottom of the flat, they're not going to understand it. And that's sad for me to say, but it is what it is. We need to start bringing shame back. We got to stop being so sensitive and start telling these women what it is. If
Yeah.
you don't want to have to be picking up your cell phone, putting it up to your arm because you got diabetes, because you don't want to stop going through them drive-throughs and things, and you don't even want to go work out or do anything, and you wonder why you're having all the night sweats and morning sweats and daytime sweats, half of it you wouldn't even have it if you just took some self-care. So if they don't care about themselves, how are they gonna care about the children? How are they gonna care about the men?
Damn. It's a good point. I ain't never heard nobody say self-audit though. I like that one. I'd say reflection, but yeah, self-audit. I never heard that one before. Yeah, I know you banged that one.
Well, what do y'all think about them saying it's up to the men? Because we have that argument too, that when these women are saying it's up to the men to fix it. They believe the men broke it, so they need to fix it. There's no accountability whatsoever on their part. It's all the men. The men are the ones. We've had this discussion several times, and there's a argument going back and forth with who's responsible. Some men even say it's up to the men. I still say it's up to the women, but there are even men who say that it's up to the men to fix it.
Yeah, men does have a part too, right? But we all know a lot of men gonna want to hit it, right? They're gonna leave the gas station behavior. They're gonna want to go. Like, you don't have to let them. You're allowing them, unless it's a crime being committed. Ma'am, you're allowing them. So you know that little Tay had no plans on doing anything with you, and you still got in the car. So you ain't got to get in the car. Most of Tay, they're all going to hit the cheeks. They just are. You don't have to let them. So this is why I say it falls on the women a lot of times, because they're allowing it. Y'all this is men, but y'all coming out them labor and delivery rooms like NASCAR. Like, you can't have both.
I think it's both. I think the men also, like, I think the point that you guys were making earlier about, like, just stop paying them any mind. I think that really needs to apply. Stop sleeping with these women. Stop making them baby mamas. Stop being baby mama makers. Like, like, these men are making them baby mamas, and you have married men that sleep with these women, make them baby moms. I've seen several women come online saying, I'm pregnant by a married man, and this is what they wanted. So they get online for all this attention. But I think that men have to have standards to who they're putting their thing in. I think that right there is what men can do better at. Like, we understand that you're going to sleep with women loosely, how men do, whatever. I'm not a man, so I don't know exactly how they do that. But I do think that they know these type of women that don't be worth nothing, and they still go deal with them. They know girls. They tell each other about these girls, So it's like, I think that men should be responsible for who they are laying down with. I think that's only fair because the women are not changing. So the men definitely have to hold some type of accountability as to the women that you're choosing to have sex with. And if you're choosing to have sex with this woman, you have to know that there's a possibility that you can make a baby. And once that baby is made, I feel like the men need to stay with the women. I think that's only fair. That's only fair. Stay with you. You did it. Stay with her. You have to step up and stay with her now. That's what I think.
Right.
I got a little bit of umbrage with it. Yes, men should practice better discipline with a pipe. Absolutely agree with you. 1,000%. But women decide. Let me make sure you finish.
And then if you're gonna insist on sleeping.
Okay, yeah, okay. Women decide if the 9-month special comes to a full term, or it's gonna be a 9-week run and then a clinic visit. Men don't have a say in that specific part of it. The part that we can't control is the front part, the discipline part. And that's why I do agree with you. The part about if she decides to say yes and you say no and she still goes through with 9 months, now they have to stay with her. I think I see what you're saying due to the baby mama and all that, baby mama culture and all that. I think it falls back on the woman because she makes the final decision. If the man wants it or not, she puts down the last decision, right? He makes the first one, she makes the second one. So yeah, if we don't even put ourselves in the scenario in the first place, there will be no second decision to be made. So I'm jacking what you're saying for sure. I don't know. I'm trying to still ciphering through that stick with them part, simply because she has the kid. I mean, there's traps out there too. But yeah, it is the men's fault, to be honest with you. In this scenario, because without the seed, right, planted inside the soil, right, there's no fruits. So the initial, yes, men need to absolutely show more discipline when they play. Absolutely agree with you.
Want to like utilize the condoms and the birth controls. Like, I don't understand why that's so hard.
Yeah.
Well, men say, it's the nature of a man to want to sleep with women. And then we talked about the D-discipline. Yeah, men need to have that. But men would say, hey, it's the nature of a man. But, I agree. There is some accountability that they have to take as well. But I personally say it's because it's your body. Women say my body, my choice. This is why I put it all on you, because your choice. If you don't want to end up a statistic, you make the choice not to become one. But I do think there is something for the men who complain about these types of women, but you are the one sleeping with them. So if you're the one sleeping with them, you can't complain about them being 304s and promiscuous with high body counts.
Facts.
So there's that too.
True. That's true. And to kind of go back onto, who needs to fix it and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Any woman getting out here and saying, well, the man needs to fix it. My question to them would be, are you going to allow them to fix it?
Mhm.
Because if you are going to ask men to have all the solutions, but you're not willing to get on the program, then you're going to be a combatant. You're not going to even give the solution a chance to work. So you can't sit over here and say, well, it's on the men to fix it. The men need to lead if you're not willing to be a follower.
But that's just bad faith, though. Right? That's just bad faith motion. It's bad faith. There's no real true intention of being out the fucking way.
If you're not willing to submit to that program. So any woman that's saying that and they're not willing to submit to the program, they are full of it. They just want to cast, they want to be in the position of power without the responsibility that comes with it. They want to be able to pass the buck onto men because things aren't going the way it's supposed to go, and then still get the glory of, I'm, independent, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want.
Yeah, when shit popping and shit smooth, right? Yeah, it's hype. But when shit go left, it's like, nah. That's crazy to me. I see that shit all the time. That's just fucking crazy to me. Right? You gotta wear it on both. You gotta wear it on both sides, Jay. The success and the failure of it falls upon the leader. So if you deem yourself the leader or you running some shit, when it succeeds or it fails, that's yours to fucking wear. You can't be a fair time motherfucking leader, right? You gotta lead in the sun and in the rain.
Men to fix it, you have to allow them to fix it. You can't be butting heads, okay? It's like that saying that they have, too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need us to fall in line. If you want men to fix these problems, then you have to be willing to allow that to happen instead of fighting them every step of the way.
Look, I couldn't have said it better.
That's bad faith shit, though.
I agree 100% of the time.
It's in bad faith. Because if you really, let's say, like you say, submit and get with the program and get on track and let's figure this shit out, right? And you're doing it in good faith, that you would comprehend and have the same comprehension that things are not going to always be perfect. But you see, when you have bad faith in something, as soon as something goes left, a little bit to the right, or something that goes the way that you don't like it or you don't necessarily agree, that's where the bullshit comes in, Sandra. So I'm jacking it. I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. It's bad faith shit. It's bad faith. And it cycles right back in to that fair weather leadership, right? When it's popping, it's all good. Hands in the air for recognition. But when it fails, head down, can't be fucking found. You hear me? So I'm jacking it.
I mean, I think that's the part of the problem. A lot of these women don't want to follow. You complain about the lack of leadership with men, but when you come across leaders, you're not willing to follow. You want to be the leader. You want to be in control of the situation. So I think that was spot on, in my opinion. Any final words, y'all? Any final words from anybody?
We know what they be doing. This stuff,
Oh.
yeah. Do that for them. Yeah, whatever. I love using their stuff against them.
Oh my God. Every time I see that, I just
Clock
roll
that
my
kid.
eyes. Like, oh my God.
Clock it. Yeah, clock that.
Yeah, oh my God. I'd be like, shut the hell up. I'd be like, shut up. Clock words. Like, what are y'all clocking?
I love using their stuff against.
Oh my
I love
God.
using their stuff against them.
Yo, gang shit, dog. You know what fucking time it is, dog. That was Dee Dee. That was Real Talk Anna. That was Queen Vibes, aka Dies. Sandra Faye, Smell the Roses, Raquel, and Carmen JC. That shit was a banger. That shit was fire. That shit was good. Big shout out to all of y'all. Dee Dee, big shout out to you because you ran the show and you made it happen. Shout out to you. I look forward to the next one. I will be there. Sandra, you know the shit. Guys, you know the shit. I know Smell the Roses too from Instagram. Somehow we follow each other on Instagram. I just found it first time meeting Carmen JC and the first time meeting Red Talk Anna. But this shit was dope as fuck, yo. Big shout out to y'all. Y'all crushed this shit for real. This shit was dope as fuck. Keep doing it. I like it. I look forward to the next one, honestly. And I heard we got somebody else supposed to be showing up to the next one. That's gonna be crazy. But he and I, nice him, Slim Trin, I'm built to win. Your humble host. I will never do the least, but I will also try to never overdo it and do the most. I'm Granny's baby. I am numero uno. Remember this. Take care of yourself so you can take care of the people that surround you, and love yourself so you can love the people that is around you. This thing in life, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Train every day like the marathon is tomorrow. Welcome to coming to the town square. Today, Village Gang, peace, power, prosperity. Everybody that came in, yo, hit them buttons, Dooney.